It's really sad how George Lucas reacted to Disney changing his ideas for Star Wars following him selling it to them in 2012. A few years ago, the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, released a memoir called The Ride of a Lifetime: Lessons Learned from 15 Years as a CEO of the Walt Disney Company. And in the memoir, he talks about George Lucas giving him and Disney a few outlines for his ideas for the future of Star Wars and future Star Wars projects. He said that he and Disney decided they needed to buy George's outlines, though we made it clear in the purchase agreement that we would not be contractually obligated to adhere to the plot lines he'd laid out. He knew that I was going to stand firm on the question of creative control, but it wasn't an easy thing for him to accept. And then he continued to explain how I guess he negotiated with George Lucas regarding creative control, with George reluctantly agreeing to be available to consult with us at our request. I promised that we would be open to his ideas, but like the outlines, we would be under no obligation to actually make them. And then when George Lucas went to consult on the sequels and learned that they weren't using his ideas, George immediately got upset as they began to describe the plot, and it dawned on him that we weren't using one of the stories he submitted during the negotiations. In the first meeting with him about the future of Star Wars, George felt betrayed, and while this whole process would never have been easy for him, we'd gotten off to an unnecessarily rocky start. It's not to say George's ideas would have necessarily turned out any better than what we got in the sequels. Love them or hate them, enjoy them or not, whatever you feel about them. But we certainly would be in a different position with Star Wars than where we are today. They went with George's ideas. Do you think George would have made a better sequel trilogy than what we got, or would it have just been different?